Good afternoon, CMS families. Thank you for joining us for today's Family Academy Lunch and Learn. We are so excited to be joined by our Advanced Studies team, who will be presenting supporting AIG and advanced learners in middle and high school. Families, please take a moment to sign in using the attendance link that is displayed on the screen and is also added within our Q&A. On the Q&A, you will also find today's slide deck. Feel free to open and engage. If you are in need of translation support on today's call, please select the captions button from the top right-hand corner. From there, please select Show Live Captions, and then the language of your choosing from the dropdown. Once again, please select Captions from the top right-hand corner, then select Show Live Captions, and lastly, select the language of your choosing from the dropdown. And families, we are here to engage with you today, answer your questions, and make sure that this session meets your needs. If you have any questions on today's call, please drop them into the Q&A button in the top right-hand corner of your screen. When you click Q&A, a text box will appear. They will be monitored throughout the call and answered during our Q&A time at the end. Additionally, please share your reactions throughout today's call. Any wows or aha moments, please feel free to react and engage as we engage with you and make sure this session meets your needs. And at this time, I am excited to turn it over to our fabulous Advanced Studies team. We have Miss Amanda Acoth, Miss Caitlin Brick, and Miss Mickey Ayers.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us in supporting AIG and advanced learners in middle and high school today. Please know that this information session is provided to you, but we are also available for further support in addition to working collaboratively with all of the schools, middle and high, to make sure that we meet the needs of our AIG and advanced learners. I am Amanda Acoth. I am an advanced studies instructional specialist. I support high school AIG as well as all virtual programming in the district and credit by demonstrated mastery, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Hi, and I'm Mickey Ayers, Advanced Studies Curriculum Instructional Specialist, and I focus primarily on middle school honors programming and other specialized programming that we use to support our AIG and advanced learners.
I'm Caitlin Brick, an instructional specialist supporting advanced placement and high school AIG honors in Cambridge. In our session today, we're going to provide an overview of the continuum of services for gifted and advanced learners in middle school and high school. We'll highlight important information that families need while supporting gifted and advanced learners in middle and high school. The Advanced Studies Department in CMS encompasses many different programs: AIG K-12, talent development at the elementary level, honors courses in grades 6 through 12, college level courses like AP, IB, and Cambridge in high school, credit by demonstrated mastery, and governor school. Today, we'll be focusing on the programming that's available to students in grades 6 through 12.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us for this family engagement session as we talk about the transition from middle school to high school. In middle school, we follow a push-in service model at the elementary level, and it's exciting because this model supports our vertical progression as students transition to the middle school years. Middle school AIG students are provided a continuum of services through their course enrollment. And so what does that look like what that looks like in the classroom is we have a middle school service delivery model, and our AIG students are provided with honors level courses in English language arts and also in math. We utilize the honors ELA companion documents and a compacted math curriculum to support our students in those courses. Also, in science and social studies, students have opportunities to master content through depth, complexity, interdisciplinary units of study. Also, all middle school students enroll in elective courses to enhance student interest and enrich the learning experience. School-wide programming such as IB, Cambridge, AVID are offered at specific schools throughout the district to also help support our AIG and honors students. HAMP was introduced this year as a 6th grade Math 1 support offered at select schools throughout the district. And also our Horizons Middle School program is offered at Randolph IB School. So those are different service delivery models that we use throughout the district to support our AIG and advanced learners. And so what does this look like in the classroom? If we go to the next slide, we'll see that we have a classroom experience for AIG students that are supported with a differentiated education plan. So all identified AIG students have a DEP, and this is housed in their cumulative folder at the school. Also, both AIG and advanced learners are served through a classroom delivery model. This is where core content teachers work collaboratively with the instructional leadership team and support teams to meet the needs of gifted and advanced learners through the use of gifted models and methods. Also, the learning experiences are interdisciplinary, conceptual. We advance the rigor, and we also challenge through complex problems and help students gain the skill of being a self-advocate and also problem solving. Lessons involve critical thinking, creative problem solving, and inquiry-based learning opportunities. And there is an academic enrichment schedule at the middle school level that is used to ensure that students have multiple opportunities to connect with their content of study, real-world application, and really master the content standards for their grade level. And on slide 10, what you'll see here is that advanced studies specialists partner with content and instructional specialists to integrate gifted models and methods into the core curriculum. So this best supports that classroom experience and the outcomes for our advanced learners. This document helps to support teachers during their PLCs and as they're planning to integrate gifted models and methods alongside and in alignment with their core content curriculum. And here are some other resources that Advanced Studies provides schools to support the integration of gifted resources, models, and methods. So we use resources from Jacob's Ladder, William and Mary, Vanderbilt, Art of Problem Solving. And again, this helps to enhance that experience for our gifted and advanced learners. And so what are our roles as we look at students who are in the middle school years? What is the student role? It's an opportunity for all of us, all stakeholders, to come alongside our students and really help to prepare them through the 6-8 years and on into meeting their full potential in high school by 12th grade. So the student's role is to grow in their middle school years by building healthy habits, self-advocacy, exploring other interests, understanding the importance of grades and how that shows their level of readiness as they move into the high school years, and also practice responsibility. So we encourage students to become self-advocates so that they get their needs fully met. Explore interests through sports, clubs, enrichment, electives. Understanding that the nature of grades and feedback really is to help them grow in who they are and meet their full potential. And also we're helping them to gain that responsibility and take ownership in their own learning and in the learning process so that, again, their experience meets their individual needs as well. And then when we look at the student role in comparison to the parent role, those two roles will definitely go in tandem with each other. And as parents, so I love to throw this statistic out there. This is the only time, middle school is the only time in life where students grow more than what they do in infancy. And I like to throw that statistic out there because there is a lot going on in the middle school years. And how do we continue to support them while also letting them have the independence that helps them grow as people into their high school years? So parents, how can you help? You can help by encouraging independence, staying engaged. If we can flip the slide to slide 13, and we can see the headers on there. Staying engaged, so attending conferences, monitoring grades, maintaining communication with teachers and counselors. Also talking about the future with them. How do the middle school years connect with what their future goals are? Social development, again, this is an incredible time of growth, so it's an excellent time to help students navigate the nuances of their asynchronous development and their relationships through the middle school years, and also continuing to create a supportive environment, promoting learning, rest, and a balance of life in general. They get really busy with extracurricular activities and social obligations, so just again, helping create that environment where they understand a balance and they can do all the things that we do as middle school students and children. And then when we scroll to the next slide, we'll look at the teacher role. So what is the teacher role in paving the pathway to success for our students? Their responsibility is to teach the North Carolina Standard Course of Study using the CMS core curriculum. This provides opportunities to enhance rigor, depth, and complexity within the core content area using the guidance that has been set forth through NCDPI's honors level course guide. Also, data and accountability, monitoring student engagement and performance to create opportunities that are differentiated from the core content classroom environment. Using that data for readiness and also instructional moves that are intentional to meet all the needs in the classroom. It's also a teacher's duty to not only teach the standards, but also support executive functioning skills. So important at the middle school level to teach organization, planning, and time management. So it's our duty at the middle school level to help students. So again, once they hit high school, they have those executive functioning skills that are going to help them be most successful. Again, connecting learning to their future, fostering self-efficacy, so providing students opportunities to lead, reflect, and make choices in their learning, take healthy risks in their learning where it doesn't apply to the GPA. They can learn those risks and how they can push themselves. Again, you're going to hear me say always, how do we help them meet their full potential in life? And also, it's the teacher's role to collaborate with families, but you don't have to wait for the teacher to reach out to you. You, as a parent, I would say it's a mutual exchange. So I always say, if you have a question, your classroom teacher is going to be your first line of communication to understand, the situation and what's happening in the classroom. And I encourage you to create that strong partnership so that in turn, we're all together creating the student's experience and overall success. And then lastly, the school and district role. So how do we elevate honors experience for our students together? So it's our responsibility to set that vision and goal, to support the honors curriculum and instruction by providing rigorous content resources that are available to support differentiation and advanced learning needs. Also, our responsibility to support identification and course enrollment criteria. Responsibility for family and community engagement like we're doing today. And also, we're responsible for data and accountability and making sure we're partnering with schools to see the areas of strength, the areas of support, and where we can really grow our students. And so in a nutshell, that is our responsibility Together in partnership to support our middle school students as we propel them into their high school years. As Amanda said earlier, we're not here just today. We're here to support you throughout your child's journey, K through 12. I always say, if you have a question, err on the side of asking the question so that you get the support that you need as families. And without further ado, I will hand it over to the high school team so that they can tell you more about what to expect in high school. Thank you.
AIG service delivery looks a little bit different at the high school than it does K-8. Each AIG student has a differentiated education plan, a DEP, just like they've had from K-8 or from their time they were identified through 8th grade, and it's reviewed annually during scheduling with their assigned counselor. During that time, students will select the courses for the following year. Honors and advanced placement courses are offered at every CMS high school. And then specific programs are offered at different high schools, like International Baccalaureate, Cambridge, early and middle college options, and CPCC courses are offered through dual enrollment district-wide. As students transition from 8th to 9th grade, we want to make sure they have a clear path to being college and career ready. As they talk with their counselor in 8th grade, it's important that they begin the conversations of the educational goals they have for their future. Some things they may want to discuss would include things like which advanced courses would they be interested in taking. This can come from their interests, it can come from their strengths, or it can come from how each of those things align with their potential college majors and career fields. We also want to encourage discussion about what steps can be taken now to build a strong college readiness portfolio. This could include course choices, extracurricular activities, or summer programs. As a family, you can discuss the importance of a balancing challenge with well-being. We don't want our students to be burnout. We want to push them just beyond their comfort zone. Have continued check-ins about stress management and healthy workload habits, and establish a plan for regular check-ins with their school counselor to adjust the academic plans as your student grows. It's important for your child to have a plan for their progression towards college and career readiness, but it's also important to remember that it's okay for the plan to adjust over time. As your child enrolls in courses, they may realize that they want to shift based on their interest, and that's okay. GPA is a key metric for college and graduate school admissions, scholarship and financial aid eligibility, and can impact career opportunities by demonstrating academic ability and work ethic. Honors and advanced courses earn additional quality points towards your GPA. Many advanced coursework options provide an opportunity to earn college credit, but not just a way to earn college credit. These courses provide students with an opportunity to encourage critical thinking and global perspectives. They learn scholarly writing and critical thinking, inquiry and deeper investigation, get to engage in experimental learning and community participation. Skills in critical analysis, independent research, and evaluating arguments are infused in these courses. As you'll see, honors courses, IB MYP courses, and Cambridge IGSE courses earn half of a quality point, and AP courses, IB, CP, and DP courses, Cambridge AS and A courses, and CPCC and UNCC dual enrollment courses earn a full quality point towards your student's GPA. We'll be hosting a Family Academy session on December 4th about navigating advanced course options in high school, where we'll dig more into the differences in AP, IB, Cambridge, and dual enrollment, and choosing the best option for your child. We'd love to see you there.
So mark your calendars and make sure that you join us for the next academy that we're going to host for more information on advanced coursework. I also want to say thank you so much for the reactions. We really appreciate those. Those are helpful. And also thank you for adding your questions to the chat. We do have somebody monitoring, and we will make sure that we take care of every question before we end today's session. So one of the things that we really want to think about, the state has charged all public schools to think about, is strengthening the honors level course programming at the school level. And so I'm not going to ask you to put this in the chat because I don't want to lose our questions and tracking our questions, but think about it for just a minute. What should every honors course have? What are elements that should be included in every honors course? And then also, what would we say is not really defining an honors level course? So if we take a look, at what we have here, these are some of the things that have been brought forth in the new honors implementation guide from NCDPI that all of our public schools in North Carolina are following to make sure that we are implementing across the district. So in honors courses, we really want to think about those courses should have consistent opportunities for independent investigation, intentional differentiation. I think intentional is very important in that one. Inquiry and connections, depth and complexity, collaboration, making sure that students aren't working in isolation, and opportunities for increased pace, not only in terms of going from one unit to the other, but also within the lesson itself. Honors courses are not additional assessments or should not be a one-size-fits-all, long papers, and only more work. And so as the state has clearly laid this out in a definition in their guide, what we are doing as a district is making sure that we have strong implementation of honors programming across the district. It's important to do this because this leads to other advanced coursework. As Caitlin just showed you recently on the GPA quality points, we often see that there is a progression from standard to honors and then to more advanced courses. So we want to make sure that the honors program is strong enough that it is preparing students for those more rigorous courses and the coursework and the demands of those courses, that students have the challenge, the critical thinking skills to bring forth to be successful in all of those advanced courses. If you would like more information on the course guide, it is linked into this presentation. And so you can click on that and it'll take you to the state guide so that you can see the components and the way that we are evaluating the courses, as well as doing some fidelity checks this year across our district. So in the course guide itself, as we saw like some ideas of what an honors course is and is not, the state has clearly defined what honors level courses should be and how they should be distinguishable from standard courses. And so our department has really been doing some work with our learning and teaching specialists to make sure that all of the curriculum materials really lay out some clear differences between what is offered at a standard level as potentially an opportunity, but what is expected at an honors level to make sure that we meet that honors level experience for students. So things like opportunities for adjusting the pace, making sure that we're adding more depth, rigor, challenge to the lessons and allowing for creativity to come through, that we're giving students opportunities for extension and enrichment that really build on their interest and further deepen their understanding of the content. Next slide. These are the 5 advanced learning indicators that the state has really pulled out as they must be consistently present in every honors level course. So year 1 last year, we went through with the learning and teaching specialist and looked at every honors course in high school and made sure that we had consistent opportunities. And where we fell short, we set a plan with the learning and teaching specialist to make sure that we provided additional guidance, additional materials, language to really make sure that we could say we consistently meet the expectations for all of these learning indicators for every honors level course.
Just like Mickey mentioned. Oh.
Oops, I'm sorry. This is you.
Just like Mickey mentioned earlier, students play an integral role in their success in honors courses in high school. We want our students to demonstrate interest and have ability and motivation to be successful in honors courses. We need them to take personal responsibility, engage in the learning, and communicate with their teacher if they need additional support. We want our students to advocate for themselves. Our parents and families recognize the requirements and expectations of honors courses. And we thank you all for being here today to do that. You support your child in performing at an advanced level of learning. And again, that communication piece, reaching out to teachers in the schools as needed to maximize your student success. As Mickey mentioned, we want our teachers to have the skills, knowledge, and dispositions to facilitate honors level courses, differentiate their curriculum, and embed intentional instructional strategies. And again, communication, making sure our teachers are communicating with students, parents, and administrators to maximize student success. which is our main goal. Our school districts provide training and professional learning to our teachers. We also work to inform our students about the many options that they have in our district. We work to provide the equipment necessary, and as Amanda was talking about, ensuring the fidelity of implementation of our honors courses district-wide. As parents, you play a vital role in helping your child navigate their academic journey. And one of the most important things we can do together to ensure their success is balance academic challenge with emotional well-being. We want our children to be prepared for college, careers, and life, and rigorous courses help them build critical thinking, time management, and resilience skills. We also know that too much pressure, especially without the right support, can lead to stress, anxiety, and burnout. Let's talk about the different academic pathways available in our district. AVID, which stands for Advancement via Individual Determination, supports students who are capable of success but may need a little help with organization, study skills, and college readiness. It's a great option for students who benefit from structure and encouragement. It's currently offered at about 20 of our middle and high schools. Honors courses are more challenging than standard courses and help students build their confidence to prepare for AP, IB, and Cambridge courses in the future. They're a great ease into more advanced coursework. Advanced placement courses offer students the opportunity to experience college-level learning while they're still in high school. These classes are open to all students who are ready for a challenge and want to explore subjects in greater depth. AP is not just for the top academic performers. It's for any student who's curious, motivated, and willing to work hard and grow. With the right support, AP can help students build confidence, earn college credit, and prepare for future academic success. IB, or the International Baccalaureate, is a globally respected program that focuses on inquiry, global awareness, and personal growth. It's rigorous, but also emphasizes balance and reflection. Cambridge Pathway offers a flexible curriculum with a global perspective. It encourages deep subject knowledge and independent thinking and is recognized by universities worldwide. Each of these pathways is valuable, and what matters most is finding the right fit based on your child's strengths, interests, and goals. As a district, we're committed to supporting students academically with the skills they need to be successful as they move beyond CMS into their future post-secondary plans and careers. That means schools will offer tutoring, counseling, and create a culture where it's okay to ask for help. We encourage you to talk with your child, their teachers, and counselors to make informed decisions together. Remember, success isn't just about grades or test scores. It's about helping your child grow into a confident, capable, and healthy young adult. As mentioned before, AP gives high school students the opportunity to take college-level courses and exams, potentially earning college credit, and standing out in the admissions process. The courses allow students to prepare for their future, prove their knowledge on AP exams, pursue future career options, and persist in college and beyond. In CMS, all schools offer the core 10 AP courses, which includes biology, calculus, computer science principles, AP English literature and language, environmental science, human geography, psychology, statistics, and US history. Most of our schools offer many additional courses, including courses that focus on world languages, the arts, science, and social studies. The two newest courses, which are offered at most of our high schools, are AP African American Studies and AP Pre-Calculus. In the 25-26 school year, there will be two new AP courses, AP Cybersecurity and AP Business with Personal Finance, which I know many of our schools are hoping to offer in the fall. Another great resource for your child is Big Future. This tool from the College Board allows students to explore colleges, careers, and scholarships. Using their PSAT or SAT score, Big Future helps them tailor their search to colleges that are looking for students just like them and what careers are going to be a great fit for them. Students who use Big Future are also entered into a pool to win scholarships. One of our own CMS students received a $40,000 scholarship to help pay for college.
We will now go through some other opportunities that are also available in middle and high school. And I think we're going to start with Mickey with Governor School.
Yes, it's back to me. Governor's School. Governor's School is a fantastic summer enrichment opportunity for students. Students who are in the 10th and 11th grade can apply. We're getting ready to start our local review process. I'm the local liaison between the state and our school district, and it's exciting. And students go to Governor's School and they come back really a changed person. I speak to adults who attended Governor's School and like it was one of the richest experiences of their life. So super cool. It's state supported. It is a tuition on our end, but I think it's a fraction for the multi-week summer residential experience on a college campus. The program works to integrate academics, the arts, and unique courses. Students engage in curriculum that explores their interests, relevant ideas and concepts in disciplines. So students apply to a specific discipline area, and then their application is reviewed, and then we send our nominations to the state after our local review. And so if a student is nominated and they attend Governor's School, their week is encompassed with studying their interest, their discipline that they were nominated and went to study, but it's not oriented with grades. So they get to explore in this environment that's in a college setting with like-minded peers, and they get to delve deeper and deeper into their interest and how that applies to real world. Does it apply to their life? And again, to be able to do that without worrying about your GPA and how that's going to impact your college application, so on and so forth, is a super cool experience. Advanced Studies, to make this happen, Advanced Studies works with school counselors to identify and nominate students to apply and take part. It's a very competitive process. Students across the state attend Governor's School in the summer. So your student will go and attend classes and events with students across the state. Governor's School is administered by the public schools of North Carolina, the State Board of Education, and the Department of Public Instruction through the Division of Advanced Learning and Gifted Education. So it's a supported program statewide. It's been around for decades. So when your student gets to 10th and 11th grade, you may want to talk to them about an opportunity to apply for Governor's School. The Governor's School applications open up around September each year. So look into it. If you have any questions, of course, email, and we'll be able to support you and your student if they're interested. Thanks.
All right, so let me see if by reactions, if you've ever heard of credit by demonstrated mastery. All right, I've got a couple coming up. Credit by Demonstrated Mastery was an initiative that was started at the state level in 2012. It has had some updates since 2012. It originally started only applicable to grades 9 through 12, and the state board has since brought in for 6 through 8 to also apply for CDM, where they have certain high school level courses offered in middle school. And so credit by demonstrated mastery is a process by which a public school shall, based on a body of evidence, award student credit in a particular course without requiring the student to complete classroom instruction for a certain amount of seat time. So basically, they can get credit for the course and then not have to take the course. It will go on their transcript as CDM. And so if we look at the next slide, it was designed to respond to the families, the AIG community, really offering students an opportunity to personalize their pathway of learning and accelerate, especially when there were opportunities to show a deep understanding, mastery of course materials so that they wouldn't have to sit through that course. And the state defines mastery as a student's command of course material at a level that demonstrates a deep understanding of the content standards and application of knowledge. So on the next slide, you're going to see that process of the one before that. So the eligibility, let me talk about that first. No, you were right, Molly. I'm sorry. You were right. I was one slide ahead of myself. So if you'll move to that next slide. So eligibility for students on the next slide is Any student that has a unique independent mastery of a content area and they want to earn credit and make sure that they take that so that they can get more courses that are aligned to their future goal. If they have a deep understanding of that content, they've considered their academic plan and have a clear reason for that. And we really like to say too, it's thinking about being able to take that assessment if they take it tomorrow, the end of course, or the local exam at the end of that course, and score at a very high level. And so, Molly, if you'll advance to that next slide, this is going to show you the process. So thinking about with this, it's a multi-phase assessment process that builds so that we really do make sure that we are awarding credit for a course when a student has that true deep understanding. And so phase one is where students will take the EOC for the course if it's an EOC course, or they'll take the locally developed exam. And that's basically measuring their mastery in the foundational knowledge. Then phase two, if they're successful with phase one, students will move on and submit an artifact. In our case, it's performance-based and it's delivered at the school as an assessment period. So they would take that assessment, which really is going to demonstrate an application of knowledge. And then if students are successful with phase two, then they would receive credit for that course. And then they would work with their counselor to make sure that their schedule is set up to provide them opportunities for additional courses that they would like to take in the future. All right, there are specific testing windows for CDM, which is what we often call credit by demonstrated mastery. And so when you're looking at this, please note, I apologize, you guys. I put down 24, 25. I will fix that so that your slide deck reflects accurately. I did not catch that on the left-hand side. Yes, so as you're seeing, there was one in the fall, and then we'll also offer one in the spring as well as the summer. If you're in middle school, typically what we see is students will participate in the spring, or they choose to wait until the summer so that they get additional time to just be prepared for it. The summer windows, our department goes through all of that. I work with the schools during the year in order to administer the test during the school year. Molly, thank you. If you would like more information, including the one pager that has the application on it, I put a bit.ly there that takes you to our website, and that will give you more information and also shows the testing windows again. It really does start with the school counselor, but oftentimes I am pulled into the conversation too, so I'm happy to answer questions if you have those as well. All right. Before Molly takes us to the Q&A, I do want to say on behalf of our team, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for being engaged with the reactions and the questions in the chat. And we're happy at this time to take any questions that you have.
Wonderful. And thank you so much to our advanced studies team for such a dynamic and informative session. And families, you guys were dynamic as well. We have some great questions in the Q&A. From an organizational standpoint, we will be starting at the beginning. So our beginning questions will focus on middle school prior to moving to our high school content. Our first question is, what does AVID stand for?
AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination.
Thank you. Our next question shares, what does this advanced studies program look like within the Montessori programs for sixth grade and upper elementary, and as they transition into a J.T. Williams Montessori program?
That's a really good question, because we know that Montessori model does look different than your traditional classroom setting when we look at the zone of proximity of students and being multi-grades in a classroom. So when you look at the Montessori model, we are going to serve advanced learners, AIG students, in the same way by looking at the data and having accountability for that data in terms of instructional moves. So within these self-directed Montessori programming, you would look at the individual child, where they are in their learning path. And then based on the data, you would make the instructional moves using the gifted models and methods to help support the student. We also use the Honors Companion documents 6 through 8 when building honors supports into the Montessori model. So we utilize the same resources in ELA and math, science, and social studies, the same gifted models and methods that we would use in our traditional setting, just understanding that the Montessori model is based on a zone of proximity and meeting the students where they are in their individual learning pathways.
Thank you. We have a few questions that I'm going to loop together. We have families that are bringing in test results from alternative states, such as Tennessee and California. What is the best way for them to bring forth the data of their student to their school and make sure that they are receiving appropriate services?
Thank you for that question. Each middle school has an AIG contact, and the AIG contact, their role and responsibility is to support the PLCs, the teachers, and ultimately the students using the differentiated education plan for AIG students. With a student transferring out of district or from a different state, what they would want to do is first contact the school, and once they contact the school, they will provide the transcripts of the coursework the student has been involved in, their EOG scores or their state assessment scores, also any benchmark data that they may have. All of that information will be important as we determine the placement for a student coming into CMS. But your school will be the first line of communication. And then what happens at that level is the school will reach out to us and we partner together to make sure that we are providing the services that the student who is transferring needs to, again, you're always going to hear me say this, to meet their full potential and growth. We look at that and take that very seriously with our students coming into the district.
Wonderful. So our schools are our first line of defense. And if there's additional support needed, you are always welcome to reach out to our team as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If a family has not seen their child's DEP document, are they able to request that from the school?
Yes, you can request that from the school. It's housed again in the cumulative folder. There is a school document that the AIG contact also houses, and that differentiated education plan is talked about in PLCs to make sure that we have that continuum of services.
Perfect. Thank you. For our middle school families, if we've been speaking with our counselor and we want to make sure that our child is still on track for their AIG level, they're currently enrolled in honors classes with which anyone is able to request. Are there other extracurricular electives for AIG students in particular?
We do not have a separate elective course schedule for AIG students. It will be part of the electives that the school offers itself. Different schools will offer different electives based on their programming. Like your IB school, they tend to have more of the language electives because in the MYP program, the IB middle school program, it is important that they get the languages. So then when they go to high school, they can continue with their IB diploma track. So again, you will still see different electives at different schools, but the elective pathway will be school-based. We don't have a separate pathway for AIG students.
Thank you. What supports does CMS offer for our neurodivergent gifted students with building their executive functioning skills?
That's always a question at the middle school level, right? That neurodivergency, the asynchronous development, and how do we support all of this in these 3 years, right? So we encourage teachers who are teaching honors classes to enroll in our Dream Academy. That is our AIG local endorsement. And through the local endorsement coursework, we go in depth in what are the characteristics of an AIG gifted learner. We talk about neurodivergence. We talk about the need to look at and support AIG students in a different way than what we may see in a traditional setting outside of honors programming. So we still continue to infuse that learning, especially in DREAM, but as we are partnering with our PLCs, our teachers, our instructional teams at the school level, we also talk about neurodivergence and the need to teach differently when we are in an honors class due to that piece of who they are as people in that time in life in particular.
Molly, let me
Wonderful.
add on to that too. I just wanted to expand on that a little bit because I actually some other questions as well. As Mickey said, it really is also in that continuation all the way through high school. So some of the work we're doing in addition in high school is to really make sure that we do, number one, some fidelity checks across our schools so that we're seeing the instruction that's taking place in those advanced level courses. We are providing that professional learning for our teachers as well. We have a Canvas course that teachers can engage in. We've also developed both at the middle school and high school level AP meetings. We go to those consistently from month to month where we're providing professional development to really just continue to build or to help our team understand the needs of gifted and advanced learners. And so really trying to make sure that we hit all stakeholders in that so that we do that continuation of services in all areas.
Wonderful. Thank you. That continuum and continuation is vital for our learners. So great information to share. Our next question is going to be for our middle school families that are transitioning into high school. My students are already taking Math 1 and Honors ELA within the 8th grade. How should I go about enrolling him into high school? Do I just apply to the magnet program?
For students who take a high school level course in middle school, that will be on their transcript. So no matter where your child goes to high school, it will have noted that they took English 1 and Math 1 in middle school. When they go to high school, the next consecutive course in that course plan will be put on their schedule. So if they took English 1 in middle school, 8th grade, they'll take English 2 in 9th grade. Same with Math 1 in middle school, they'll take Math 2 in high school. Any CMS school will be able to meet your child's needs in taking the next progression course in their journey. Regarding magnet schools, each of our different magnet schools, you'll want to look into what's the best option for your child. So what's a reasonable distance from your home, what offers a program that your child is interested in studying. I would suggest attending the CMS Endless Possibilities Fair, which is going to be this Saturday at the Park Expo building. There you'll be able to talk to all of the different magnet high schools to really see what's going to be the best fit for your child. You could also choose to attend your home school, and that school will also, as I mentioned earlier, offer a variety of AP courses. They'll offer a variety of honors courses and may have some additional specialized programming to meet your child's needs. So really having those conversations around what are your students' goals? Where would they like to be in the future when they see themselves in 10th grade or 12th grade or college or a career? What does that look like for them? And then finding the high school or the program that's going to get them there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And families, if you are unable to attend the Endless Possibilities Fair but would like to learn more about the school choice opportunities, please join us on November 13th for our Lunch and Learn, which will be covering our school choice opportunities as we are within the application window. Our next question is, how are students who are identified as gifted but are not high performing being supported at the middle and high school level?
I can start at the middle school level, and then the high school team can chime in on high school supports. So the student who is not identified as AIG, but their data shows that they have gifts and talents that need to be supported, that is supported through the core content experience that we spoke about earlier, that our honors classes and really our standards classes too, it is an accountability piece that we are looking at all students' data, and we can see through that data the readiness students have to go to the next level. So it's our responsibility to answer that with differentiation in the core content area to provide students with what they need at the middle school level to keep them engaged in academics, to keep them healthy socially and emotionally, and again, to propel them into high school where they have the skills and the disposition that was mentioned in the high school slides to be successful and really meet their long-term goals, not only in their K-12 experience, but also beyond high school. So we continue to look at the data, not only in honors classes, but also in standards classes, because we do know the reality is, for whatever reason, all students aren't identified. And we know that we have advanced learners in other spaces outside of our honors coursework. So our department, I believe, does a really good job continuing to look at our data and being accountable for casting our net wide to make sure that all students at the middle school level are provided with the services that they need, whether they're identified or not. I hope that that helps to answer the question.
Absolutely. Thank you. Great information.
At the high school level, that's also something that's on the high school DEP. So for AIG identified students in high school, one of the conversations that counselors will have during that DEP meeting with students is going to be around their course selection and how their courses are going and what courses they want to take in the future. That might include, as I mentioned it on a couple of my slides, is there a balance between the academic work and room for extracurriculars and mental health and the ability to, be a well-rounded student? That also includes conversation of, maybe a student's not quite meeting their potential yet. And we know that based on AIG testing and other testing that they have abilities that are not yet being tapped into with their course selection, which is so key at middle and high school. So our counselors will really work with students and guide them around how are they making course selections that will challenge them. And that might be conversations around willingness to take risks and try new things that maybe they're scared to do or not comfortable doing. And those conversations can look very different. We also, as Amanda mentioned, in some of our professional development with teachers and high school assistant principals, we discuss things like how we're meeting the needs of students, whether that's students who may be signing up for a lot of advanced courses or who could really push their potential and try additional things.
Great information. Thank you so much. Our next question is for our middle school. What happens if we're in a 6th grade honors class and we have concerns about it not being challenging enough? Do we have options to accelerate further?
I'm sorry, Molly, could you repeat the question, please?
What happens if within our 6th grade honors class, we find that the content isn't challenging enough? Do we have opportunities to accelerate further?
So if you are finding that your student isn't challenged enough, again, your teacher, the classroom teacher, is going to be your best course of communication because that teacher is charged with looking at the data and making sure that students' needs are met academically, socially, and emotionally. So if I were in that situation as a parent and my child didn't seem challenged, I would call a conference with the classroom teacher and start first and foremost there. This is what we're seeing. This is what the data is showing. What are we going to do to support? And we do, as mentioned before, we have resources through advanced studies that we can come in and help support the teacher to continue to engage our honors, AIG, advanced learners, engage them all and can keep their head in the game as a 6th grade student in particular, so that they continue to want that level of engagement as they go through to 8th grade on into high school. So again, in that situation, partner with the teacher to make sure your child is getting the services that they need and that they deserve. And the teacher can reach out to us and we come out and we partner. We also partner with the content specialist and the instructional specialist to make sure that we are doing what is best with the curriculum and providing those resources and supports to keep our honor students and our gifted students engaged. So don't hesitate to reach out and share those concerns, because that's really important. A teacher does have a lot on their plate in their everydayness. So don't be afraid to advocate for your child. That is your number one job, I think, in this whole piece, is to advocate, but don't advocate to the point that we are taking away that self-advocacy piece for our individual students at the middle school level. But it is still your right as a parent to advocate for your child. And as a parent of a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old, I say advocate all day long for your child. And we are here to support you. If you have any questions, if you're reaching out, we're here to support as well. So don't hesitate.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Families, we are reaching towards the end of our time. We will have a FAQ document that is shared with this video. If you have completed the sign in for today, we will ensure that there is an email follow-up with a direct link to that. We'll answer a few more questions with the time that we have as we conclude our time today. The first question is, if I have a student who wasn't able to engage in their special interest within middle school and they've participated within an IB program, as they transition into high school with all of the new opportunities for pathways, are they able to do a program such as culinary with the advanced instruction pathways that are available? Who do we contact to make sure that they are set up appropriately?
The main thing you'll want to do there is make sure that your child attends a high school that offers the culinary arts pathway. All of our high schools have AP courses. So as long as your child attends a school with the culinary arts program, she would absolutely be able to engage in both her special interest and continue to challenge herself academically. I know one school I can speak specifically to, East Meck, has both a culinary program and AP courses and an IB program. So she would just then need to select courses that make sure she receives a balance of all of those. We know if students go for the IB diploma pathway, that can be a very challenging, rigorous pathway, which is fantastic for many of our students. But she'll want to make sure that her choices allow time for both of those. So just making sure as she's doing that course scheduling, that she's picking a high school that has both options, and then that each year she's making sure to allow room in her schedule for both her special interest and her academic interests.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Our next question is, can a child be tested for AIG status elsewhere, and what are the policies around that? Is there any considerations or opportunities that
if students move into CMS with gifted identification from another state, we will accept that as reciprocity. And so they would just need to contact their AIG contact at the school, and we will make sure that that is completed. We do not accept outside testing for AIG. However, students can be tested at AIG for AIG identification throughout middle school and high school. So if your child has not yet been identified in another state and you are interested in pursuing that, contact your child's counselor or the AIG contact at their school, and they will proceed with the process and review the data to see if testing is required, and then make those moves to work with our department to test your child.
Thank you. What options do high school students have to take AP courses that may not be offered at their school of enrollment?
So many of our AP courses are offered at various schools. I would encourage you to advocate for students if they would like an additional course, but I believe Amanda has some more she can share about additional options.
Yes, so we obviously would definitely want that face-to-face experience if at all possible for all of our classes. So like Caitlin mentioned, that would be the first step is advocate, really thinking about like, is there interest there and talking with the counselor about this and seeing if it could be added to the master schedule. If that's not a possibility, this is where virtual comes in. NCVPS, which is our main virtual course provider, which allows for several different advanced placement courses. Students can enroll in those courses. It's like an extension to the school's course catalog. And one of the reasons that NCVPS came to fruition was really to make sure that we could offer opportunities across all schools, across all districts, to allow students to enroll in courses that they are interested in and will be advanced courses as well.
Wonderful. Thank you to our fabulous advanced studies team. Our final question on our call will be just a real quick, what can families do at home? A quick tip to support their students as they engage in the remainder of the school year.
Having conversations with your child about what they're learning in school, what their special interests are, and continuing to encourage them to dig deeper, try new things, and really be willing to take risks would be my suggestion. And I would love to hear something from Amanda and Mickey that would be kind of their idea.
Yes, I love the idea, Caitlin, of additional conversations and really pushing them. I think sometimes we get the canned response. Sometimes when we're asking our teenagers how their day was, what's, talking about some of their classes. But I think there's also opportunity there when you see them really get excited about some of the things that are happening in class, asking them what's happening in class and really diving deeper into that and looking for opportunities to extend that in the community. So if they're in a leadership development class and they really love whatever their role is in that, is there a way for them to extend that outside of the school and do that and show that in the community as well? So that would be my suggestion.
And I'll round it out. Those are all really good suggestions. These years can be so challenging because yes, they'll give you the canned response and it's really hard and they think that we are needling them when we're trying to just know about their day and who they are and how they're doing, right? It's hard to tell if they're irritated with us sometimes or just, that's who they are on that day as a teenage child. To keep them engaged at the middle school level, I believe continuing those conversations, even when we don't get the response that we want and we're feeling our way as a parent. I think it's important that we continue to stay engaged in the conversations with our student to keep them engaged in the coursework. If they're coming home saying they're not engaged, listen to them, right? And reach out to the teacher to see how can we do to keep our student engaged and to keep them happy in learning and to keep them loving learning, most importantly, because it's our responsibility to create lifelong learners, not just learners who are in our classroom for one given year, but it's all of our responsibility to create lifelong, innovative learners who make wonderful contributions to our world. I say it all the time that I truly believe the generation in front of us, I might be biased because my children and their ages, and then I think we're in a different generation now. I've got to look that up, but they're going to be the change makers of the world. And I look at these generations and I think how cool. We have students in front of us who they want to know the purpose. They want to know the why. And we want to have the patience in helping to facilitate them to be the people who they are innately and what they're driven to do. So keep engaged in the conversation with them, dial into their interest, right? their service project, if they're in an IB school, what is that service project, right? Not do it for them, but be engaged in it with them. I think that's how we can come alongside our middle school students in particular. And because statistics show, I believe around the 8th grade, if we don't keep our boys engaged, we may lose them in that level of engagement as an advanced learner. And I believe the statistics are about 9th grade for our girl students. So whatever we can do and partner together, let's continue to have those conversations with our students so that they know we're interested, so that they remain interested as well. I hope that helps support, but I know where you are as parents as you talk about these years for sure. And I thank you for coming to our session to learn more and partner with us through it all.